Right.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today for my second week of highlighting women all month long in my Tuesday tea. Today we have Kristen and Alisha. She is my very first Pilates instructor ever and also was my colleague at a bar that we worked at in New York. And Walter wants to say hi too. Hi, Will. All right. But she really got me into something that I am forever in her debt for, an incredible practice that I have now been doing for over 12 years and I'm obsessed with. I think Pilates is becoming very popular. It's becoming very trendy, even though we were OG trend starters. But I think it's great because it's great for everyone's body. And if you know me, I probably talk your ear off about how you should get into it and you should love it. So today, Kristen's going to talk to us a little bit about her own journey of um, her professional, personal, all the kind of highs and lows, and how Pilates has helped her and how it's helping other women in her life. So, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
The first thing, I guess, you could just maybe tell us a little bit about your work, kind of what you do, and a little bit of your journey of getting into being a Pilates instructor and
Yeah. My Pilates experience has been pretty, I would say rather long. It's my 13th year teaching now. Seen a lot of bodies since then. But back then I started teaching the Lower East Side in New York City, where I got my certification. And all while running a small boutique studio, I learned what my strengths and weaknesses were. Programming and meeting clientele and hiring and just meeting other individuals, like-minded individuals, was like the exciting part for me. And then also just seeing how people left after class. So I knew I wanted to stick to this. I was like, yes, after all these years of dancing that I used to do, like this makes sense. I get to create movement for bodies every single day. So
yeah,
sticking to this. And then I was like, should I open up a Pilates studio of my own? Something was always brewing that I wanted to do a little more, right? So kept teaching, which was my passion. And then COVID hit.
yep,
And we no longer could.
all our plans.
Yeah, all of us. And then I was in this tiny apartment in the Lower East Side, co-working with my husband, one basically studio apartment. And I was like, I still need to see my people, my clients. We still need to move. We still need to like stay strong. So that's when Zoom started, which most of you are familiar with, and started teaching there. And then I started a YouTube channel. So I was doing free videos to stay at home workouts. You don't need any props, just your body and a mat. And I stuck to it. It was good for me to do something like that every day. And it was really good to stay connected to my clients from all
And
these
I
years.
will say that that got me through the pandemic because one, Kentucky, no offense to Louisville, but that's where I was living at the time. There's just no Pilates studios were my vibe there. So I was doing a lot of stuff at home for that practice anyways. Was the first place I lived. I didn't have like an outside studio or place to connect to. But then Kristen and another good friend of mine in LA who was teaching live classes could come into my home and do Pilates with me. And they were my favorite people who I like wanted to take the New York, version of that studio back to where I lived. So even though it really was challenging, I think it really was an incredible way for us to also reconnect and to and I still throw on your videos. I put one on this weekend. So definitely check her channel out. They're such great, accessible for anyone, different time lengths for what you have. So there's no excuses, but it was a genius thing that I'm so glad you started because it personally helped me a lot. So kept me sane and kept my body feeling good.
And that's what keeps me going when I hear that. So people are still doing it. And that's what keeps me still at it. So
yeah.
Thank you for doing it.
And where are you now?
So where am I now? So now I would call myself a freelancer. So I'm teaching locally here. I moved upstate.
Okay.
So I teach at a small nonprofit studio. And I also teach in Mount Kisco for a Club Pilates franchise. So couldn't leave my ladies. So I have them on Sundays all day. I teach Sunday classes, reformer classes. So not mat classes.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what would you say has maybe been a couple of the biggest challenges to being female in business or kind of pursuing these dreams? I hear COVID, but what else maybe were some layers that have challenged you along the way?
Um, I think the most direct one was, besides COVID, was becoming a mother.
Mm.
First time, my first child had a daughter last year. So she's almost 2 now. But I did take that first year to just enjoy her and adjust to my new self. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and yeah, raise my daughter. So I was finding that balance too. And I think I did a good job at it, but I did take a pause on teaching and my YouTube channel. But 3 months ago, I started back on the YouTube channel. And when I got pregnant was when I actually decided to kind of chill out. I was in the process of moving upstate
Uh-huh.
and keeping my apartment in the Lower East Side. I thought I was gonna have like this dual life, like weekends upstate and hustle and bustle in the city, because
Yeah.
I will never stop, right?
Right.
But I did slow down. That's how I got pregnant. And COVID kind of made me choose this place, more
Okay.
space, more room, and
Yeah.
fresh air to breathe. So I kind of made this my home.
Okay.
And that said, where was I going with this? So moving to a new town,
Yeah.
not knowing anyone, also newly pregnant and then a new mom. So it was a lot of adjustments. But I slowly have been putting myself out there, going to playgrounds, play groups, and finding other women around me, a community sense of support. And I found that in Mount Kisco, teaching for a badass boss that I have, that I was working for in Park Slope. I'm still working for her. And just that community helped me, like just that transition. You need baby clothes here, you need cribs, you here. Like, so I had all of that love.
Yeah.
So I think that really helped with all these different
Yeah.
challenges, for sure.
Yeah. No, and definitely. And last week we talked with my other guest a lot about that idea of connection and how much women really need women. And when we are actually like connecting and operating in love and support, and that idea that there's enough for everyone and we all can do similar things, but we do them uniquely and we don't need to compete or be cagey, that like, look how rich and incredible that can feel. And I think in your classes, right, you have people of all different, that's what I do love about Pilates too. Like you can have all ages, it's
Oh, yeah.
not just for the certain body specific type, which is fine for sports or things that are, but it's for
Yeah.
everybody. And
Yeah.
you could have a class where you could still make your level 10 person feel like they really got to work out, and your person who's never done anything also feel like they could keep up, right? And you have to be a really
Yeah.
incredible instructor to do that. I imagine that's hard, but
It takes time.
yes.
It takes experience, but yeah, I
But it's
love
so
that.
great you can do that. So it's just that community and that connection. It's very inclusive and it's very supportive, right? It kind of really meets your body where you're at, and it's up to you to make the workout. I feel like you can do a class 1,000 times and there's always something new I'm learning.
Oh, yeah.
Versus some other types of things, to me, I'm like, okay, I've done this, like, meh. Or you
Yeah.
have to go up and wait, or you have to do that, like, because you have kind of like maxed out on that specific thing. I don't know. I'm signed up for teacher training, so I'll learn all the
You
words and things.
you sound like you got the passion there. Like, I'm
For
happy.
now, I don't know any
Sounds
muscle
like,
names, but
wow.
the that thing and the this thing, you need to do more. But that's what I do love about and this, and I think just coming in as someone who had never done it before, and you were just so like, yeah, you can do it, and just really guided me through that. And then I've had other incredible teachers along the way too, and pushing in the right way. So
There you go. Yeah.
it's such a cool community. Um, how do you feel your work specifically empowers women? Like, what is it that you feel you're giving back or able to do for women through your work?
I think what I always speak of is, like, we all know consistency is always something that makes you succeed, or just like
Mhm.
successful in that. But to basically, I would say to make time for yourself. And like, even as a new mom, I mean, from now to now, almost 2, she's a toddler walking around. We work out together. Like, I
Yeah,
take a foam roller out, we're foam rolling together. So it's like,
yeah.
take these 10 to 20 minutes for yourself. And that might be without them waking up a little earlier. I set my alarm sometimes at 6 o'clock because I know she's waking up at 7 just to have some me time.
Mhm.
So I think it helps you prepare for your day.
Mhm.
So I think, as much, if it's 5 minutes, 20 minutes, it's going to make a difference in how you treat anyone during that day, your
Yeah.
partner, your kid. So I think it just sets or ends your day, whatever cools you down. So
Yeah.
I think it's just more of like taking time to take care of yourself so that you can fill up your cup and give to others and be a little more patient. Yeah, that's kind of, and
Yeah.
working with this nonprofit studio here in town, it's just been really nice. Like anyone can come.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like donation based. And yeah, like you said, bodies. I have 20-year-olds to like, in their 50s, and they all love getting together for that 1 hour. And even though it's late at night, 7:30 p.m., but like they leave and they're like, yes, I'm so happy I did this. And
yes. Yes.
we're doing it together. So it's like we're laughing together, we're moaning together and groaning.
Right.
Like
We're like, oh, 10 more. I don't want to. Like, stop.
"Eh."
Yeah. We all hate you together when you're telling us to do
And you
5
love me when it's
more.
over, and you love yourself even
Yes.
more. So
Yes.
it's
Yes.
good.
No, we do. It's loving hate. Um, and so it sounds like really just helping women prioritize themselves and saying this is a space and a way in which you can do that. And maybe it's more easily justified because it's like to look better or to feel better or what, but it is like about still prioritizing and how it helps you help others, like you said. And then just like connecting to your body. I know sometimes people have a hard time feeling comfortable in their bodies or even wanting to think about their body. And especially I work in my therapy practice a lot of postpartum women, and that comes up a lot, right? Like what is this
Oh,
body now? Like what's going on here? And just having,
whole new
if you
body.
just had to like figure it out during pregnancy, your body changed and now it's like different than it was before. Like not always in bad ways, it's just not the same. And that is a mind check when you've lived in a body for so long. And I think that you offer a really great space to allow women to safely reconnect and even heal or get stronger or meet goals or things, but in a way that feels accessible and not like too intimidating or hard or too much or too
Yeah,
overwhelming either.
definitely. Yeah. Well said.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well said.
Yay. Well, where can people find you?
I'm back on the YouTube consistently, weekly. I'm always posting a new video. So my YouTube channel is actually my full name, Kristen Anzulis, so you can find me there. And then during the week, since I'm always moving, my Instagram handle, Fit by Kristen. I'm always doing like little daily snacks, little movement snacks that you can do. Yeah. So
Awesome.
Instagram and yeah,
Perfect.
YouTube.
Yes,
And
and I
please
have
like and subscribe, because the more subscribers, the more, I can keep this going and maybe, be able to work from home, which is like my ideal situation right now, especially raising my almost 2-year-old. So trying to
yeah,
figure that
no,
out.
definitely go subscribe. The link is in the email. You'll see it right below. Her Instagram's also in there as well. And she does, and what I do like too about Kristen is she offers things like she's out with her kid at the park and also doing something healthy and helpful. And you're just like, oh, there's no excuses. Like, look at her. She's doing this with her dog. Well, when you had your dog and with your kid, and like all of that, just like all the things people would say, I don't have time. Like you're making the time and you're making it look beautiful as well. So she's very elegant dancer body moves. But it's possible for all of us. So definitely check those out. Definitely check out her YouTube. Even if you've never done Pilates, you can do it safely, no judgment in your home while watching, but she's very clear. They're very accessible. Like I said, not all of them need props, so you can just lay down on your carpet and go for it. But yeah, I'm so thankful for you to join me this morning, and I'm excited for everyone to see this week. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.